All right, welcome back to Agent After Hours. I am here again with Miss Christy Daly, and today we're talking about the top three must-have tools. The top three tools an agent must have. And this is a good little list that we came up with. And it was hard to narrow it down to three, right? But number one on our list is a CRM.
What is a CRM, you might ask?
And we actually get that question a lot. So a CRM is a contact relationship manager or customer database. You can break it down any way that you want.
In the old days, it was called Excel.
It was called Excel or Agent 2000. Do you remember that one?
Oh, that was one of my favorites. That's what I learned on.
That was-
Agent 2000.
And it was really expensive.
But it was good.
Back in the day.
But it was good.
Now we pay a monthly fee for all of them.
And it wasn't online.
It was not.
It was software.
I used that when I sold cars.
Agent 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Creative.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so let's talk about CRMs. There are a plethora of them out there now. Some of my favorites: Follow Up Boss, Chime. We have this really cool in-house, and they're getting smarter every day. We have this really cool in-house one that does AI learning and sees consumer behaviors. These are the cookies that you see across all the different websites to find out who is most likely to buy or sell. But regardless of what, you could use something as simple as Excel, as long as you're keeping track of them. But there's nothing worse than seeing your best friend from high school's house have a for sale sign in the yard down the street because you didn't stay in touch with them. And so I think it's really important to have that database of your sphere, of your contacts, of everyone you've ever sold a house to or haven't sold a house to stay in touch with them. And how you reach out to them is dependent on what your method of communication is, what is their preferred method.
I think say that again.
How you communicate with them shouldn't be your preferred method of communication. It should be theirs.
Yes. If they text you, do not call them.
Oh my gosh, no. Please don't.
And just don't leave a voicemail at all. Just send them a text if they don't answer.
Yes. And Facebook Messenger has made this really easy. Facebook's actually a database. I wouldn't say it's a CRM, but it is a database. And it can be used very easily to keep in contact with people that maybe you don't have their email, maybe you don't have their phone number, but reach out to them daily. Not every day saying, "Hey, Christy, how's it going? Hey, Christy,
did you want to move today? You want to move today?"
Yeah. But stay in touch with them. Just see what they're up to. Hey, haven't heard from you in forever. Just want to check in, see how you're doing. It's an easy way to reach out. And they're obviously going to ask the same question back. And you say, "Oh yeah, been selling houses for 6 months now," or if you're a new agent, or 20 years in my situation. But yeah, I use the CRM that you're comfortable with. You don't have to overcomplicate it, but stay in touch with that sphere.
And if you're not familiar with what a CRM does, you can set up drip email campaigns, searches,
drip text, drip voicemails.
I mean, it will do a lot of the legwork for you. It can tell you how many times they've logged in. Some of the ones I'm familiar with, it'll be like, so-and-so logged in today and looked at 3 houses. And you're like, oh, that's weird. Maybe they're just curious, or maybe they're actually interested. I didn't even know they were in the market. But then you go to Facebook and you see that they just had their 17th kid, and you're like, oh yeah, they probably are actually getting ready to move. So the CRM takes a lot of the busy work out of your day because it does it for you.
I will say, be a pattern interrupter when it comes to Facebook. Don't, when they have a 5th kid or it's their birthday, don't just send them a message on their wall because it's lost in the hundreds of other comments. Send them a quick little video like this where you just say, "Hey, hope you're having an awesome day. Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hope you have some great plans lined up." And leave it at that. Don't ask them anything else. Just say happy birthday.
Well, literally, you can't see all the messages on your birthday.
No,
but it collapses, and then you're like, well, that was a waste of my time because it's gone. But a text message is not going to get lost.
A text, a video is even better. So, but yeah, get a CRM. They vary in features and functionality, but at least you can keep track of when you last contacted them so that you can say, "Hey, I need to reach out to them. I haven't talked to them in 3 years, 20 years, whatever it is." Next on the list is a social presence. We are in a social media age. There are 2 billion people on Facebook, and social media presence is not limited to just Facebook. Yes, I'm a huge fan of the quote, and I've said it a million times because I'm a Chris Smith fan, but Facebook is the internet.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And it took me a long time to realize what that meant. But when you think about the average person's on there 8 times a day for X amount of minutes, it's the first thing people look at when they wake up. It's the last thing they look at before they go to bed. You need to be present on Facebook. But I think you can't ignore LinkedIn. I think you can't ignore TikTok. I think you can't ignore Twitter. No, I'm kidding. Twitter's made a resurgence. People are crazy about it.
But is MySpace coming back?
I hope not.
I still have mine open just in case it ever makes a big comeback. But LinkedIn, now how do you see yourself using LinkedIn since it's business to business? How does that relate?
So I knew an agent that was very successful in our market, and her daily, she didn't have any sphere, right? She was military transplant, and she reached out to military spouses all day long and just said, hey, just wanted to connect. I have a military spouse and just wanted to reach out and introduce myself if you guys are ever thinking of buy or selling. And it was a very direct approach, but she crushed it.
Yes.
Because nobody else was doing that.
And you got something in common.
You've got something in common immediately. So find the commonality, and then maybe it's you're working with, if you're a loan officer, and I know we're talking to agents here, but if you're a loan officer, reach out to people that are going to use VA loans.
Right.
VA buyers. Hey, I've got this great program for VA buyers. It could be a real estate agent that does that. LOs with physicians programs. Hey, not sure if you were aware that this is available to you, but wanted to just send you a quick link.
Yep.
Again, be very concise with your message. You don't want to be spamming them on your first invitation, but connect with them and then follow up a week later. So, but don't ignore platforms that are new, like TikTok. Again, in our last video, we talked about 70% of agents don't take it seriously. There are agents that are taking it seriously. They have the first mover advantage. They're gaining tons of followers. They're documenting what they're doing. They're creating their own reality TV show with very short clips, 1 to 3 minutes. And people love that. So,
what do you think about Pinterest?
Pinterest is huge. I hate it because I have to log in because I forget my password all the time. But my wife sends me pins all the time on house ideas. And then she creates a to-do list for me.
Right. That's what we're good at.
This is what you're going to be doing this weekend.
You've got plans.
No, but I think I have Pinterest lists for clients. Hey, here's the top things that you can do to improve value for your house. Here's fall decoration items. Here, you can share those with clients. It's a great way, going back to your CRM, stop spamming them with crap that they don't want. Give them a list of decoration ideas. Hey, just wanted to share my board with you. Would love if you're on Pinterest. Yeah. Share it back with me. Give me your ideas.
Don't spend so much time recreating the wheel. You don't have to. It's out there. Don't go creating your own content for your CRM. Just go Google it. That's another term. Facebook is the internet. Google. Whether you're Googling it or not, you say you're Googling it.
Yeah.
It's like getting a Kleenex.
Who doesn't use Google?
I hope nobody. That's why I have an Android.
Not a smartphone.
Google.
Here's why, and for those of you wondering why I say Androids are not smartphones, I think it's like 90% of app developers develop for Apple first. And because
we just want you to try it out and work out the bugs. Because
I am on the bleeding edge and have shiny, whatever. Triple S. I always want things first. And so when real estate app developers make apps, they make them for the iPhone first because they're more profitable. So
then I let him learn it, and I'm like, let me know how that works for you.
2 years later, she'll get the same app.
I'll decide if it's worth my time and effort at that point. So,
it's have a social presence. Pick and choose what works for you. You don't have to be everywhere, but you need to be visible. And pick the platform. We talked about communicating with clients the way they want to be communicated with. Know your audience. And if they're on TikTok, be on TikTok. If they're on LinkedIn, be on LinkedIn. It's not going to be for everybody, but the one that I would say that everybody can do and is free is YouTube. And it's evergreen content. Start documenting what you do. Create video content that can be, because you can share that across all the different platforms. So, and Google owns YouTube. It is the second largest search engine, maybe third now because of Facebook, for videos. When I need to do something DIY, I'm going to YouTube to find out, hey, how do I do this?
I could do things I didn't even know I knew how to do because I can go YouTube it. But in addition to using the social media for your business, you have to put a little spin in there too. It can't just be real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate, or they're going to shut you down. They're not going to shut you down. Your friends are going to shut you down because they're over it. They don't want to hear. They want to see your kids. They want to know what your front porch looks like when you decorated it for the fall.
You got to humanize it. You don't want just another sold, right? Because if you sell 300 houses a year and all they're seeing every day is a house sold, look, they got it the first 299 times.
Right.
So just be conscientious of that. Don't overdo it. Give them engaging content. Last but not least, is a marketing budget. And I think a lot of agents fail to consider creating a marketing budget and talking about ROI, which is a return on investment. If I spend $100, I expect to get $100 back out of that. And we talked about a lot of agents market for their ego, getting shopping carts at Kroger. Don't do that. You have no call to action. You're wasting money. I'm sorry. Unless you're a huge agent and have a ton of branding, you're wasting money on that. So have a investment strategy for your marketing budget. And this could be, you could have $0. You could go create YouTube videos. You have the best camera in the world. We're actually recording on them right now. This one. We're recording on them right now. You have the best video camera in the world. Start creating content because your ROI on a $0 marketing budget is huge. So keep that in mind, but just be conscious of what you're spending your money on. And I mean, what are you going to recommend to a new agent that's looking, hey, I've got $1,000 that I want to spend?
I'm kind of old-fashioned. I've been doing this for a while.
Did you hear my stomach just growl? It is lunchtime.
It is getting there. Oh, right on the money. But personally, because I like to make personal connections, I like the handwritten note.
Oh my gosh.
I like writing the card out. I like remembering the birthday. A text is close because it's still a video, because it's still a personal connection. But if you've got $1,000 and you're trying to figure out where to spend it, there's going to be apps and there's going to be programs and everything. But don't forget to go back to the basics.
Couldn't say it better myself.
I mean, for $1 at the Dollar Tree, you can get 10 notes and they don't even have to say your company on them. They just say, hey.
It's a pattern interrupter. When's the last time you got a piece of mail that wasn't a piece of junk?
Right.
I mean, my Aunt Jean is the perfect example. She was a home ec teacher for years and years, and who I always consult when I need a question answered on etiquette. Because
I've got one of those too.
Yeah.
She's not an aunt, but she's
every year on my birthday, I get my card.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can be old-fashioned about it. Do what works for you. Interrupt the pattern, but spend your money wisely. Do things that are going to have a result for you. Stuff like that absolutely will. Not necessarily being on the shopping cart unless you have a incredible...
It does take more time, but it costs less money. And track what's working. There's no reason to go in and continue to spend $1,000 on the shopping cart when you're not getting any return out of it.
Yeah, if you can't see how something worked, you've wasted your money because you can't prove that it did work. So,
what's your favorite marketing item?
Right now, if I'm telling an agent to spend, I'm telling them YouTube ads.
Ads, okay.
Pre-roll ads. Again,
more than Google pay-per-click?
Yeah, because I think there's not enough agents. There's a lot of agents doing Google pay-per-click. Local services ads are great. I mean, $50 budget a month, you're getting calls. It's a pain in the butt to set up, but local services ads, LSA, check it out. But I spent like $50 a month and we got like four actual client calls from it for $50. Those are real leads looking to buy houses. But you have to do a background check. You have to submit them a copy of your E&O insurance. You have to submit them a copy of your license. But well worth it if you take the time to set it up. YouTube ads, Google ads.
Have you used things like AdWorks that follows people around?
I don't like it. It's not my favorite.
Why?
I mean, it's the easy button for if you're looking for that branding, but it's just, to me, it's an online shopping cart advertisement.
Yes. So you figure your eye goes to the middle of that page there.
Yeah.
And they're not seeing those.
They'll see it, and if you're going for a brand recognition play, absolutely, by all means. Spend your money doing that. But you're not going to see a return on investment unless you're already very established. I mean, if you talk to established agents that spend money on billboards, they see their sales go up when they run billboard campaigns because they're just making people more aware. But you can also alternate that. You see this a lot with like 6 o'clock news. If people still watch.
Right.
6 o'clock news. They usually have a sponsor.
Do they have that on Netflix?
No. But 6 o'clock news had like a local heating and air guy.
Yes.
And they sponsor that segment, right? But you think that they're running it all year long. They're actually alternating there every other month. But in your mind, it's every time that you watch the news, they were on there.
Yes.
So alternate it if you're going to do that kind of branding.
Going back to that, I said pen and paper is kind of my gig, but the old-fashioned magazines, newsletters in the mail, again, like you said, interrupters, things that come in that you just think, wow, when's the last time I got a whatever?
Yeah. But again, call to action. Maybe that's the most important tool other than your marketing budget. Your call to action as to why are they going to call you based on that marketing piece that you put out? It better be a dang good reason. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you on the next one.